Hey there, it's Ethan from the Apartment Guys. Hey, remember, we're not just apartments, and we're not just guys. So, I'm gonna show you today a little lesson. This is one of the tutorials that I've told you about. This is gonna be a little tutorial that'll save you a lot of time and stress and possibly keep you from getting screwed over. And I'll explain that in a little bit. This is called the Move-In Inspection Tutorial. Please watch this if you're a renter or ever might be a renter. Thanks. All right, and I'm going to show you how to do this thing when you first move into an apartment, right? When you're getting your keys. It's called often the Move-In Condition and Inventory Report. It usually looks like this. And what this is a chance for you to jot things down, not to be repaired at all. This is not for, hey, can you fix this? This is for, this was like this when I moved in. You're probably going to be showing this to somebody at least 1 year, 3 years, 10 years down the road. You've got to think it's not going to be the same staff you're giving your keys back to, so it can't be word of mouth. Hey, remember that door was like that? I'm going to show you how to not get burned on those things and why you're wasting your time by writing out too much stuff. I'm going to go through a list real quick. All right, we'll start with the door. Doors are usually okay, unless you see some big gash that looks like really beat up or a kick mark. Remember, somebody might have been in a fight and blasted this thing with their foot at some point 7 years ago, but if it was never marked down, and then there's a new staff when you move out, you might say, hey, you gotta stop kicking the doors, you're paying for a new door. Inside, this is a big thing. All right, now we're inside the door. This is a big thing actually. Does it have a privacy lock installed? One of those little chain gadgets? You definitely want to list down there if it does or doesn't. Because when you move out, if the previous person had it on there and you're not actually allowed to have them, because you know, a lot of places do not permit those things. But if you have it on there and you like to have it on there, you know, by all means keep it, but write that it was there when you got there, so you're not accountable for it. Same thing with like a little alarm system. All right, if it's not a brand new property, they know that it's gonna have little flaws, you know, a nick there, a little dent there, looks like a little uneven space where you know, nail was patched up, but now it's like painted evenly, things like that. All right, the biggest area that I see people have to pay is appliances. You're gonna check your freezer. You're gonna check for these things. Does it have an ice rack? Maybe write down, it doesn't have an ice maker. It has a little ice bucket. Check these brackets. These are probably the biggest, because if you say, I'd like a bracket installed, if you didn't write that it was broken when you moved in, they'll say, you broke it. And it's gonna be $69 on special order. Big thing. Same thing with brackets in here in the refrigerator. See this one? It's missing a butter door. Butter door. I've seen people get charged when they move out for not having that. You know, I start managing a property, I'm gonna say, boom, everything by the book. If it's not on there, you're getting charged for it. I'm telling you what things they could actually come after you for. Everything else is just kind of redundant to write down. Little drawers, just open these real quick. Make sure there's none of them that are damaged or a shelf is missing. You know, wallpaper or cupboard paper. Cupboard paper. It's usually gross if you have the previous person's in there. And if you do get it, make sure you get the kind that can be easily removed. It's not some adhesive, okay? Because that can be hard to get out of there. And you'll be charged for them to remove it. So we're checking things. I'm gonna check the garbage disposal right now. This is actually huge. A lot of cleaners, painters, whatever, they might wash something in the sink and they leave a, I don't know, a screw, nut, bolt, something like that in there. And it might break the garbage disposal. You might not even use a garbage disposal for another 2 months. You won't know. So test that thing, make sure it works. Carpet. You can usually tell if it's new or if it's not new. That's all you want to, care about. This day and age, go take pictures of the smudges, okay? Go take pictures of the dark areas. They're not gonna fix those dark areas, but they're not gonna hold you accountable because you wrote it down. Bathrooms, just test all the things. And remember, this is not about fixing things. You'll make a maintenance request for those usually. This is about not getting charged for something you didn't do. You know, these little cosmetic issues, blemishes, you don't care. You know this is not a new building. However, you don't want to be charged for it, no matter what they end up doing. Washer and dryer, right here. Check your lint trap. If the last person didn't clean it, you know, who knows what's going on with it. I would write down this on your move-in inventory report. Did not use washer and dryer yet. So that if you take a week to use that and all of a sudden that thing's leaking, then you can have it repaired, and it will not be a fault of your own for using the wrong detergent or something like that. Make sure you're using the right detergent. And it is good to test it out before you move your things in there, because if it floods, you haven't brought your things in here yet if they need to do some kind of 3-day or week-long repair. All right, well, what else can I tell you that might help? The light bulbs. You will probably never have to change one of these fluorescent bulbs if your property has those. They're more expensive and you have to have some kind of expertise in order to change it because they're filled with fluorescent something. Gas, I think, if I remember the periodic table of elements. What else do you need to know? Outside, just like the light bulbs, once you move in, it's gonna be, your responsibility to keep the place clean. But if it does have big crazy spider web problem or something like that, ooh, that's a hornet nest right there. You might want to report that. Say, hey, I haven't even moved in yet. Can you guys clean that off? And then I'll take care of brooming it the whole time I live there. That's it. Like I said, I'm trying to help you not stress out about it. And a year, 2 years, 10 years down the road when you move out, there's no way anybody can say you did that. Unless, of course, you did do it, because you know who your friends are. And you know they're not all good people. You know there's some of them you should probably stop hanging out with. But you didn't. And so that's why your screen door is broken through. All right, if you have any questions at all, or a specific issue that you feel like you want help with, let me know. I'll answer as straight as possible and take the stress out of it. All right, thanks for watching.